Hi curl friends, welcome back to my channel, Outrageous Curls. So if you're building a curly hair routine and you're finding it super confusing, honestly, you are not alone. Trust me, I used to overthink everything when I first started growing out my curly hair. Like which product do I use first, and like how many steps, like why does their wash day look so good and perfect and mine looks just like a hot mess. So today I'm breaking down the simple routine that helps me go from frizzy dry curls like I've got here to hydrated defined curls without spending loads of time and money. And the best part, you only need 4 products. So this product is what I'll use to help cleanse my curly hair because it removes build up without stripping moisture. And honestly, if your curly hair feels dry, this is definitely a game changer for you to try out. And then I will follow up using a deep conditioner. Deep conditioning is so key to help grow your curly hair because it helps strengthen the hair strands, and this is what fixes your frizz. I love to use the Cantu Deep Treatment Masque because it leaves my curly hair feeling so soft. And then for the styling process, I'll be using the Cantu Avocado Leave-In Cream, and honestly, you will see how good this soaks into my curls. And then I'll follow up with the Cantu Avocado Hair Mousse, and I wanted to try this out to see how it compares to this one that I used at the beginning of the year when it started to get really cold during the autumn and winter season. Keep watching to see what results this will give my curly hair. So once I've rinsed out the deep conditioner, I wrap my curly hair in a microfiber towel to help dry the curls a little bit so it's so damp for the styling process. You don't want your curly hair soaking wet because you don't want all the water dripping down. When your curly hair is damp, the hair cuticles are open, so it's easier for it to soak in the moisture of the products into your curls for the best results. And for the styling process, I always like to divide my curly hair into 4 sections, and then as I go along, I'd like to divide into subsections. I do highly recommend this, even if you haven't got thick hair like me. Like if you've got thin, fine hair, definitely try and divide your curly hair into sections because you just want to make sure that you are applying as much moisture as possible to all your curly hair strands and doing it as thoroughly as you can as well. So here is the Cantu Avocado Leave-In Conditioner Cream, and you can see the size of the product is pretty good. And here is the consistency of the product, and it smells pretty good actually. It's not a bad smell. This is the amount I'll use on this section of my hair. But what I'm going to do though is I'm still going to divide my curly hair into a subsection because my curly hair just feels very thick recently. I've definitely taken better care of it recently, so I feel like my curly hair has thickened recently, which is really good. And you can see now as I'm applying the leave-in conditioner, it provides great slip. But of course, don't forget the ends of your curly hair. Your ends are also so important as well to help improve length retention. If you're trying to grow your curly hair and you just want to get that hair length, you've got to make sure you don't neglect the ends because the ends are the oldest and driest section of your hair, and of course as well your ends are more exposed to like split ends as well, so that is what causes the length to reduce over time. So make sure you just take care of the ends. And then when I'm applying the leave-in conditioner, you can see it provides great slip for me to finger detangle, so I'll make sure to finger detangle as well to just make sure that my curly hair is tangle free for the best results. As when you have curly hair, it's so easy for curly hair to mat and like get all knotty, so make sure it's just as tangle free as possible for the best results. And you can see I'm following the exact same process and just making sure when I do finger detangle, I work at the ends and I work my way up to the roots. I don't start at the roots because that can cause hair breakage. Just make sure you work really slowly through the ends and then just keep working your way up to just work through those knots. You'll feel it, and you can just take more time to be able to just work through the knot, and it makes it easier to remove the knot that way. If you don't like finger detangling, that's perfectly fine. I finger detangle because I've done a intense detangling session when I apply my deep conditioner. So you can use like a hairbrush or a wide tooth comb, but for me personally, I have found finger detangling at this stage gives me the best frizz-free results. And here is the Cantu Hair Mousse, and I'm just going to use a few pumps, and you can see here like how much I've used. And when I apply this to my curly hair, I don't finger detangle. I'll just like smooth it through my hair strands and try and make sure it soaks really well into my hair strands to help define the curls. When I compare it to the Ava version, I will be honest, I do prefer the original compared to the avocado version. I don't know what it is about it. I feel like the original one gave me just had a nicer feel, and I preferred the smell of the original one as well compared to this one. But the leave-in conditioner, I have to say, is really, really good. I do recommend it. But when it comes to the hair mousse, like this particular one, I prefer the original overall, because you can see the hair definition. It's good. I'm very happy with it compared to how my curly hair looks without any product. But it just felt like something was missing. I can't put my finger on it. Like when you start trying out different hair products and you see a different range, you'll start to realize over time that there are certain ones that are really good. But a good thing about a hair mousse is that the hair mousse is sometimes a lot better to use during this cold season, because over here in the UK, the temperature has dropped like no tomorrow out of nowhere. It's like now -2 degrees Celsius and it's absolutely freezing. So it is now the time to try and reduce using gels that leave a crunch feel, and try and find a hair mousse that will help define the curls and give you that volume, that bounce, and that softness without any of the hard crunch. A hair mousse is so good to use to help style in your curly hair during the winter season. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I honestly thought hair mousses were more for wavy hair types, so like type 2 hair, or more 3A hair types that have like the looser curls. I didn't think it would work on my hair type at all, because I did have a bad experience at trying a hair mousse when I was younger, and it just left my curly hair feeling super dry and frizzy and awful. I hated it. So I was very put off using hair mousse for a really long time, until last year when I gave it a go. I was just so impressed with how well it defined my curly hair during the winter season, and I just found it a lot easier compared to using a hair gel during the winter season. So I'll use hair gels when it gets warmer, so when it comes into the spring and summertime when my curly hair really needs it. But a hair mousse is definitely the way to go for the winter season. And the reason why as well is because during the winter season, because the temperatures drop, there's also less moisture in the air. So that's why we get dry skin, we get really bad, like, you know, in your hands, your hands get really dry, your lips chap. That's why that happens, because there's less moisture in the air, and your hair will start to feel more dry as well. And look at that, like, I have to say the hair mousse has defined my curls really well. I just do feel overall the results with the other one, which I'll link above here, is definitely a lot better, but this is still pretty good. And again, don't forget the ends. I will always stress that. And I do the same process throughout my entire curly hair. Okay, so now when we get to the top section of my curly hair, I do get a little bit more heavy-handed. The reason why is because the top section is also exposed the most, just like the ends of your hair. So this section is always going to be a lot drier, a lot frizzier. So if you really just want to extend the results longer throughout the week, always just apply a bit more to this section. So I do recommend going a bit more heavy-handed compared to the rest of your hair. It's kind of like the rainforest, like the canopy, exposed to the sunlight so they don't get damaged as much. So that's what what it's like with the top section of your hair. It's like the canopy where it's just exposed the most. Trying to use a good metaphor to explain it better, but that's why I always apply a bit more to the top section of my curly hair. And you can see this routine is just super simple and easy. Like, all I did here was co-wash, deep condition, use a leave-in conditioner and a hair mousse. And yes, like lovely hair products that are just still all over my hair strands. And this is what my curly hair looks like after I finish with the styling process. And to get rid of the excess product, because you will have a little bit of excess product from the hair mousse, it can take a little while for it to soak in, but what you can also use as well is like a microfiber towel to just help scrunch the hair and also help work the product in a bit more. And this helps with the curl definition and also helps add volume to your curls as well. But of course, where it's winter, I'm not going to air dry my curly hair. I plan to go outside today, so what I'll be using is a diffuser. A diffuser is a good way to dry your curly hair in less time, so you're not having to wait like 3 or 4 hours for your curly hair to dry. A diffuser can dry your curly hair in about it takes my curly hair about 30 minutes. I used about a medium heat setting, but then I would sometimes switch to a cooler setting to just help dry my curly hair. And a diffuser is really good with drying your curly hair whilst keeping that curl definition. So you just want that attachment that I've got there to make sure that it just helps dry your curly hair without causing frizz. Without that attachment, and I just use the hairdryer as normal, my curly hair would just be all frizzy and all of that hard work that I've done would just be ruined. Whereas this is retaining all of that hard work that I've done to help define my curly hair and add moisture to my curly hair. And that is it, curl friends. Here's my curly hair results after that simple curly hair routine, defined, and it feels super soft and it is frizz free. And there was no overthinking. It was a simple 4-step process: co-wash, deep condition, leave-in conditioner, and styler, which is my hair mousse. And honestly, I'm so happy with the results using this Cantu range. I absolutely love the Cantu leave-in conditioner, and the Cantu hair mousse, I do like it, but I do prefer the Ava one, but the combination still works absolutely amazing. So if you do want to give this a try, give it a go and let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on these products, and also let me know what part of your curly hair routine confuses you the most. Is it frizz, shrinkage products? Let me know, as I'd love to help you out. And if you also want to have a personalized curly hair routine, let me know in the comments and I will send you my Instagram, so you can send me a DM and I'll give you some curly hair tips for free. And that is it, curl friends. I thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like this video. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned to my curly hair uploads, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss out on the curly hair fun. I hope you guys have a lovely week. Keep it fun, keep it curly, stay true, and see you in the next video. Bye.